Alright, Ash, let me know when you're here. Her. Alright, so, long story short, the only thing I did without you, was this maze. Hold on, fucking settings. Audio. Music. Love the music in this game, it's so loud. Long story short, the only thing I did without you was this maze, right? Basically, you find out that in the center of this maze is this very nice, it's an original of the first batch of soda that this company ever made. So you go to get it, you have 3 people, and they're like, oh, if you give it to me, I'm going to do what I want with it and give you some money. And I'll explain the reasoning on why you would give it to them. But you go to the middle of the maze and find out that it's gone. But there does happen to be some, like, evidence that the creepy Professor Farnsworth guy, he went and took it, right? So I went and talked to him, and he's like, yeah, I took it. And then he was like, what are you going to do about it, huh? And I was like, I work for Rizzo's and I'm going to beat you up. And he's like, oh, I didn't realize you work for Rizzo's. Here you go. And he gave it to me. Right? This guy's a lawyer. He's going to basically, if you were able to get the original bottle, then you would win a free VIP ticket to the unveiling of the soda and to hang out with Halcyon Helen. But because he knows that Halcyon Helen's dead, he was going to get the bottle and then sue them for fraud because they couldn't produce Halcyon Helen. That bitch is going to take it and then just reverse engineer it and make the soda again, but under her company. And then that bitch is just collecting it because she likes collecting failures of massive corporations. Just for funsies. Like, she's not going to do anything with it. So who should I give it to? Suey McSusan? Susan? This bitch is going to reverse engineer it, or this bitch who's just a collector. There's no other options, by the way. Just so you know. The collector?
Hi there, somebody. Keep your Let me have a look. It's a little scratched on the neck, and the label's a bit smudged. Smells funny, but I think it is genuine, yes. This'll look real good in my archives. Here's your pay. I'll be in touch if there's ever another time when I need to keep a corporation honest. And if anyone ever asks, I will take this original and make certain that it remains as evidence of products past. Whatever the future may hold, this
Let's see if I can pickpocket her for it.
Have some permanence.
Nope, damn it. It's worth a shot. Alright, so on to research and development. Why can I not fast travel? Oh, because I was jumping. Yeah, I gotta leave at 7:40. So this is the Research and Development Center, and it's fucked up. That's all. I walked in here once. Oops, did not mean that. What's my hack at right now? Skills. 50, and what do I need? 60? Do I have any clothes for that yet? Engineer. Hack +7. Nice. So there's that. Now I just need some caffeine. Let's have some tea. These are the appointments that people made. Halcyon Helen lab tour for a product presentation from Administrator Ludovico. That's kind of weird that she had went here and then she's dead. These are messages from the Department of Reception to Utility. Hey, I'm sorry, I haven't had the chance to get your name yet and update the terminal. When you have a moment, could you please bring a mop to the lobby? Dr. Blossom seems to have had a rather rough night and spilled some coffee on the floor. Thank you. To Department All. What in the Architect's Blue Blaze is going on? What is blessed corporate law? Is all that commotion down there? I don't believe the rocket fuel combination distillery mixture was scheduled for another week. Could someone please inform me as to what all that racket is about? You better have a damn good reason for interrupting my meeting with the administrator. I expect a full explanation. Apology. I think they bought the rocket fuel that I fake sold to the black market lady. What weapon am I currently using? 12. 12. Okay. Yeah, I would rather have that. 7 hack is pretty expensive. So this is that's pretty cool. I'm gonna keep that. Don't care about defense skills. Don't care about do they sell anything good? No, they don't. So why would they?
That's awful. Wonder if this poor fella had a family.
Before Rizzo's was the confectionery juggernaut you know and love today, it was an above-average chemical waste management corporation. On one otherwise unremarkable day, an employee on the slurry stirring shift leaned a little too far over the chemical vat, dropping a single purple berry that had been hidden in his pocket in his jacket pocket. Instead of being immediately fired for his hazardous incompetence, the employee was given an ultimatum by his supervisor: retrieve the fallen fruit and stay unemployed, or the employee jumped into the vat and swam for the purple berry and accidentally swallowed it. The rest is history. After he was pulled from the toxic waters, the stirrer stated that the chemical-coated purple berry hadn't been half bad before falling into a toxic coma, giving his supervisor the idea to sterilize and adjust the chemical mixture for human consumption. Soon, the sour, sweet-coated purple berries were more or less edible, becoming Rizzo's first match, the Purple Berry Bunch. So it's just toxic waste over a berry. Gross.
How in the aether did you get in here? You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now? What do you want? Speak up and quickly if you will.
I wish. I'm investing her meta and she was here recently.
You do know that Halcyon Helen is a fictional character portrayed by the late actress Ruth Bellamy, yes? One can't be too sure with so many simpletons around in the day-to-day. Regardless, I am not at liberty to divulge such information with non-employees or personnel lacking security clearance level Spectrum Orange. Of course, if you were to say, contract your services to me, I suppose I could grant you clearance enough to answer your murder-related questions, Mr. Inspector. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab.
There isn't anything you can do to help.
Yes. I suppose I should make myself useful. Let me think. Ah, I know. I can remotely unlock the supply closets in the lower levels of the lab.
Nice.
Perhaps you'll find some useful apparatus or two in them.
Didn't see any hostiles on the way from the entry door. You can make a run for it.
And lose my life's work? Want me to just burn my lab and my entire future to the ground over one experiment that's gotten rather out of hand? No. I think not. We merely need to clean up the mess, so to speak. Reset the lab back to functional parameters.
Even I think that's pretty cold, and I'm a mercenary.
Ellie, you're also a
Staff
doctor.
can be replaced, you know. Research data? Now that's invaluable.
What goes on in these labs that would turn the researchers against you?
Oh no. They're quite unaware of their actions, I'm afraid. We're a research and development branch of Rizzo's, focused primarily on the Spectrum vodka line. But the specific research that goes on in this facility is utterly confidential. You understand?
Oh, damn it. Oh, come on. Your secret's safe with
Call
me.
me a skeptic, but no, I don't believe it would be. Loose lips sink new product ships, you know?
Forget I mentioned it then.
Happily. Of course.
Thank you. I can take care of the problem, but you need to answer some questions
Excellent.
afterwards.
You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
Your call, Captain. I don't know if the lab techs can even be helped at this point.
The door to the lower labs is sealed for our safety, so you'll need to take the elevator down. I'll unseal the access hallway for you now. Do take care.
Are they also all fucking crazy? Pickaxe. Mind the gas canisters. Hello everyone, this is your friendly custodial staff offering a preemptive apology if the elevator hall is crowded with gas canisters. There are quite a few of them and only one of me, so I'm moving them in loads down to the utility room. Do be cautious, they're filled with a sedative potent enough to put a hungry mama rapidon out cold. After required meetup. My team and I are all heading down to the Grand Colonials bar this evening for some drinking fellowship. All real scientists are welcome to join us. You know, the ones that produce quantifiable data and theorems and don't spend their time jabbering over how, quote, this lighting on that bottle will increase customer sentiment. Cheers from some who understands that market researchers aren't real scientists. Fucked up but true. As we continue our new round of research and product development, I am increasing the required safety gear for lab workers. As some of you know, a few recent accidents involving subjects have left workers maimed, scarred, and one worker had their left hand permanently discolored to a shade of lime green. RUSA's Research and Development District Labs is expected to continuously produce revolutionary advancements in the food and beverage industry. These measures will help us further pursue that mission. Wait, where are they?
Heading back. Got it.
Oh, there they are. Cool.
Be
I was
right
like, where
there.
the fuck did they go? Oh. See if I can snipe this guy in one shot. Nope.
True professionals.
It's just that gun actually sucks. Same assault rifle. I need to upgrade it is the big thing, but I haven't seen an upgrade table in a little bit. I mean, that's up to you. It really, the big thing is, do you think you're going to get $13 worth of fun out of it? That's usually how I ask these questions when I buy games. Free lunch, best lunch. I agree. Toxic. Sulfur-soaked top hat. This top hat once belonged to Captain Phazon of Byzantium, last seen on the Terror Monarch standing much too close to the edge of a sulfur pit. This pungent accessory should serve as a reminder to many terrible found on Monarch, and further example of why no self-respecting a Halcyon should ever visit. Why is it here? I guess there's just nothing really this way. Oh wait. Ooh. They're chopping up the parasites. I think that's what that is. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening. That one's skewered like a shrimp. So they were experimenting on these people, I think is what I'm supposed to be gathering from that. Nice. Do that. Actually, let's revert all that. Bring that up to 90, and that up to 90. And then... increasing my carrying capacity would be pretty good, but... increase my movement speed. Yeah, let's just increase capacity. I think overall that'll be helpful because that basically increases my capacity by 50. Nope. Team, don't drink the coffee. I told Blossom we weren't crazy. Every single one of us began to have clinical insomnia, and she tells us because we drink too much coffee. Well, it is because of the coffee, or more what's in the coffee. I had the janitor swap out the coffee grains an hour later than usual this morning. What do you know? I've been asleep all day. Those jerks in product have been messing with our supply. Don't ask me how, I just know it. They think they're so smart because they know how molecules work. Well, they aren't the ones that can create a chemical dependency. They aren't the only ones that can create a chemical dependency. I've got a Pavlovian prank in place for the Spectrum Brown presentation. That'll be quite the show. To Blossom about Halcyon Helen from marketing. We're thrilled to hear that they secured Helen as a spokesperson for the new Spectrum product. Data shows that she has favorable dispositions in many key categories, including the coveted 18 through 34, quote, regularly employed existential crisis demographic. We'd be happy to show her some of our product advertisements. From Blossom to marketing department and product. I'm saying this message to both teams and both labs. I don't know the extent of your squabbles, but they end here. If it weren't for the incredible projections Spectrum Brown shows, we'd all be out of work after that embarrassment of the presentation. And then it's the same message from before. Nope. Well, I guess I'll go... I'll go this way. What was that noise? Why they got them in tubes? Why are they experimenting on them? finally finished our first set of experiments on those parasites we harvested from the infected would-be attraction animals, and the results have been, what the hell am I doing? Why am I taking this tone? Who's going to see this aside from members of the research team? I barely need to mention how beyond completely phenomenal today's find has been. Not only have we discovered why Harold, the system's saddest teacup canid, had his remarkable turnaround, frankly I'm amazed no one was realizing what was awry earlier. His cage was only about as large as he was. By the way, Myers, there goes your daily adreno injections there, you buffoon. But we've also found something that will find me to a vice presidential position in no time. Who's this, by the way? Slug Lab. Remind me to devote a bench commemorating the Rizzo semi-industrial exploration team for giving their lives to bring back the, it's talking about the, bringing back the worm from the holy caves. I'll also be certain to devote an even larger bench to myself for finding the birth side of the parasites and ordering experiments to start. I've already been in talks with management about ideas for products that could utilize the parasites' joy-intensifying hormones. It's amazing that Slug hasn't looked deeper into this. We may have to seed them the land, but seemingly they haven't disturbed our research site. Well, their oversight is Rizzo's immense benefit. Great job, me, Dr. Blossom. So she's the fuck up. I'm sure some of you are still shaken by the events earlier today, but the course of science never did run smooth. The benefits of our research are easily worth the potential risk associated. Garcia would most certainly agree if she were still alive. I've talked to the administrator about setting up some additional security measures in case of another test subject breach. In the meantime, for the love of the architect, do not infect an individual test subject with more than one parasite. The forensic joy will have to be enough for now. I'm still looking into promotional means, but I think we'll find something soon. Some Rizzo's product engineers have discussed mass-producing the parasites and placing them in some kind of beverage to evenly distribute the joy-inducing hormones. You see what's kind of going on? Blossom requested, well, who's sending this? Oh, it was them. Blossom requested demanded we help the engineering team produce a gas that would target the neural rings of individuals affected by it. Well, we did, and it was simple enough. Just isolate a particular cell type, only found the parasites, and produce an enzyme that should shock them temporarily into stasis. But you better believe the second it came time to tell the administrator about it, she was the one who had developed the gas, and she was the one who had been primarily working with engineering to get everything together. She takes credit for the initial finding, and even after Dr. Garcia's death, which is basically all of her fault, she still somehow manages to find a way to spin things her way. Some of the other researchers were talking about altering the gas not to target test subjects, but to target her, and for it to not render it unconscious but dead. I wouldn't write this down, but I know she doesn't read law entries that she didn't write. Tell you, their ideas are beginning to seem more and more appealing. To cadaver removal from utility. At your earliest convenience, the Slug Lab requires your sanitation services for cadaver removal. There are 2 bodies at present in the RR&DD labs, 1 scientist, 1 test subject, and a team to move the personnel corpse, the incinerator. After this, please send a hazard team to dispose of the test subject. For highly classified reasons, the corpse can emit certain chemical compounds that are extremely dangerous. Please don't skip on the protective gear. We'd hate to have to hire a separate utility team to pick up your bodies. That's it.
Rizzo's could have helped a lot of people with all the bits they poured into this place.
Oh yeah, that's... Did I hear something?
There.
Wanted to make you smile.
Scared the fuck out of me, as always. Uh, 222, 113. So she's a lot better with fucking that somehow. She better with 796, 735, 268, 216. Yeah, so two-handed. Sorry. She needed me to move a shampoo bottle. Wait, what is this room? Oh, this is the marketing lab. Okay, I get it. Who's up top? Wasn't I just in there? Maybe I wasn't. Plasma rifle. Hydrogen peroxide. Who ate my lunch? Why does she have all, like, the hydrogen peroxide shit? Pistol. Spectrum vodka. There's a bunch of fucking bugs. Trial K-08 has produced moderate results. 0-calorie sweetener produces 36% of the amount of dopamine compared to popular cigarette brands. It is possible that this is as far as we can go without introducing substance that would be categorized this as a tobacco product, and we're already towing the line as it is. I'm interested in a trial with a larger set of subjects. However, our lab's researching and cut things to a new lab that's begun building across the hall. Maybe we can offer it to our colleagues in the marketing lab. So they were loading this fake sugar into their fucking coffee. That's very fucked up. I apologize, but I wouldn't be doing the team. I wouldn't be doing the team justice if I didn't question the budget cut this lab has seen. We've had to shelve 3 products and we're losing 2 more researchers. Honestly, whatever's being developed in that lab across the hall better be more addictive than Adrenatime. Dr. Boston, I apologize for our team's outburst at the product presentation. I assure you we didn't intentionally mean to scream in terror and assume the fetal position when Spectrum Brown and its slogan were unveiled. It has something to do with the market. It has to be something the marketing lab did. For law's sake, they aren't even real scientists. So that was the fucking Pavlovian prank. Was that when the Spectrum Brown was released and its slogan, they all screamed and jumped into the fucking field position. Stop immediately. That's them fighting. That's sent to all computers. Oh, come on. There we go.
That's a lot more Rizzos than I ever want to see in my life.
When?
Gunfire, I heard. Might I conclude you found an alternative method of pacification? Please return for consultation at once. And do remember, unauthorized access to confidential Rizzo's information is a cap.
Nice. Big upgrade right there. Oh, dispense sedative gas. There we go. Welcome. We're happy to have you as the new mechanic custodian. It's a job thing. File, how to be a janitor. Training file corrupt. Please guess how to do your job to the best of your ability. That's funny as fuck. We've gotten 17 requests from the lab. From the lab workers that I had to respond to, and also managed to find time to sweep, mop, and buff this whole place. I was hoping that the employee how-to document would help with some of these machines that I've never seen before in my life, but guess what? The asshole left it completely blank. I got a request from Blossom to hook up these gas lines to some canisters that's mixed with a heavy sedative for dispersal in the lower labs. Luckily, I've got enough experience cleaning all the muck that builds up in the vents to get it all done in a couple of days. Still, I wonder what they're needing this for. I think they took the last 5 Rapidons out of the lab. I guess the pheromone flavoring results weren't as promising as they hoped. Jackpot, since I've read that stupid orientation document, I've been hoping that they ask me to volunteer for something. Here it is. I get to be the taste actor for the newest Spectrum flavors. I'm heading to the lab right after the fix is clogging the shower. So exciting. Oh, rip.
Just who in the... Oh my law. It's you. Wait. What do you think you are?
Oh, did she die?
Dr. Blossom? Captain, we gotta hurry.
I'm trying, bitch. The door's locked. You think so?
Just when we were gonna get some answers.
Her key card, which suspiciously spells of Spectrum spirits. Error file deleted was successfully downloaded to the external data cartridge. Oof. From Ludovico, Helen's lab tour. Apologies for late notice, but she's requested a tour of the facilities. Yep. Well, Liara, you did it again. Note to self. At long last, you located a bottle of Spectrum Black hidden in a crevice of musty shelf space in the storage warehouse last night. And that much closer to finally getting the Spectrum Gatling to work. And what happened? You got all the way back to the Spectrum Gatling. You got all the way back to the water tower before running to a group. Prime was already diverting themselves with the fruits of the fermented variety. One bad blackout later, and here you are, covered in primal vomit with the Spectrum Black. Get it together. What's going on? Files. Error file deleted. Parasite findings. Oh, here we go. Tests involving the parasite, colloquially dubbed slugs, has produced astounding results. Even when compared against our most promising methods of producing a brain chemical dependency, the pheromone that the slug secretes produces dopamine more efficiently than anything on record. Further tests will continue researching how much of the compound we can introduce in the subjects and observe the results. Despite a less than ideal presentation and administration, the product impressed for 2 main reasons. As mentioned before, this product will produce that boozy feel-good stimulus like no other, but more importantly, the pheromone's makeup is completely unique, which means that there are no regulations surrounding its classification. The idea of a completely addictive product with zero law surrounding it could certainly justify
kills
any
all
means.
these people over a data cartridge?
Oh, her entire fucking lab people died.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
This victim's loss of blood is oddly minimal, but he definitely heard gunshots. Cause of death not by a bullet wound as you expect, rather the body is riddled all over with small thin puncture marks, no larger than a needle in diameter. Although you distinctly remember hearing gunshots over the intercom, you don't see any bullet casings. Whoever Dr. Blossom confronted over the intercom, they dispatched her and all 4 of their scientists without much resistance. It means they must be well trained in some kind of sharpshooter or
What an
adventure.
awful place to die. What do you think happened to her?
These look like needle wounds.
Needle wounds. You think maybe she was killed by another lab worker?
Leave. No response.
The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
Who's that? Weapon requires loaded spectrum vodka array to be functional. Error. Not all spectrum flavors are present for tuna root. You lab notes. The Gatling taunts me from behind its glass cage. The infernal void damn thing refuses to work. I know the exact cause. It's me. Why am I wired like this? Why? Whenever I tried to fiddle with the internals sober, I broke parts off or connections failed to fire or pieces stuck out of the casing and shorted out the other components. So of course the solution was obvious. Get at least a little plastered prior to the work period, every work period. When I'm relaxed, my hands don't shake, and it's so much easier to see where things should fit and how to bridge the connections. The problem, of course, is that I always get artistic. We should have a weapon. Why should a weapon work on mechanics alone? Essentially, it's a vodka Gatling gun. Why shouldn't you have a say? Slot one of every fucking kind of Spectrum vodka into the thing before it will fire for the first time. I don't even know if it's tied to the weapon's internals or if it's some kind of lock, but it seems like it should fire and absolutely will not. I have to get one of every kind of Spectrum, including black. I can only hope the storage warehouse has had a recent shipment of the entire Spectrum, or all of this has been for nothing. I have to be the dumbest genius on this side of the house, Leon.
The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned. Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here, mere moments earlier in the timeline.
Dimensions would fit a small frame person, allowing them to
Looks
enter
like a standard ventilation shaft to me. Somebody around my size could have crawled in. Wouldn't have been comfortable or, clean. Ventilation shafts usually turn into sprat nests.
You see a cut red wire. Likely you think it could have disrupted one of the circuits. Perhaps the door
See that red
regulation.
wire? Whoever cut that wire was trying to disrupt the circuit. They could have...
So that's why the doors were shut. I gotta go talk to Administrator Ludovico now. Let's go in her office one more time just to see if she has the fucking Spectrum Black anywhere. I don't think she does. No, she said she got the shit kicked out of her by a bunch of primals. I think I'm gonna go on the ship real fast so I can upgrade my guns.
Attention all personnel. Unscheduled pollinization cycle is about to commence.
What?
Please evacuate the orchards at this time. Releasing the wasp-ketos for pollinization. Cycle is now in progress.
Do you hear buzzing? We're all family here. Rizzo's takes care of its own.
Is it really? Holy shit. God damn it. That sucks. I got a few more minutes before I have to be like online, so I'm gonna take 5 minutes to do the wasp-ketos. The wasp-ketos. From ballistic bullets.
Rizzo's thanks any guests trapped in the orchards for your patience as the pollinization cycle commences. Don't forget, our trees and bushes can't pollinate themselves.
Check recent activity. The last activity exceeds the last activity recorded exceeds the week's 2-week threshold and has since been purged. From Inchen to H. Lawson. Generally, when two coworkers get blasted out of their minds on Spectrum Vodka, one of them makes a joke about how wild it would be if we put wasps and mosquitoes together. He doesn't wake up the next day with a promotion of a couple 100,000 rabid insects on his back porch. I can appreciate a good joke as much as the next guy, but I got a message earlier today about making sure I increase quarterly yields, and it wasn't from you. If you wanted to, I don't know, bail me out sooner rather than later, I'd be most obliged. Bail me out, Hilda. I'll put this bluntly. This place is one bad key press away from total disaster. Earlier today, I accidentally selected the begin pollination cycle function on the terminal. The cycle just activated. No password protection, no confirmation message, nothing. As it happened, there was a scheduled tour making its way through the orchards at that moment. Somehow the idiot groundskeeper exterminator mechanicals got activated, giving the mosquitoes something to see that was the tour group. Those people barely got away from their lives, and I don't think they'll be so lucky next time. My supervisor had apparently scheduled me for some kind of standard medical treatment, but when I come back, I better have a message from you apologizing for not responding to my messages containing an immediate threat to transfer me to somewhere else that isn't. I reread my last message to you, and I feel like I owe you my deepest, most heartfelt apologies. I have been such an entitled bore since I received this promotion. In reality, I should have been thanking you to oversee the day-to-day coming and going of creatures of the majestic of these mosquitoes. Great honor. Congratulations on your promotion. By the by, I would have thought I'd be mad, especially considering how central my mosquitoes were to your new position. But since that treatment, I found it difficult to stay mad about anything. I hope you enjoyed Byzantium. Multi-purpose tool would be nondescript anywhere else, but there's something strange about it.
Tool is comprised of 99% plastic, 0.5% steel, and 0.5% carbonated sugary beverage. Trace amounts of kerosene, alcohol, hydrazine, and liquid hydrogen also detected.
Inspect the casing. Casing is pockmarked scratch. It's been well used. You also notice an inch-long steel panel haphazardly nailed to its side. You collect a nearby rod of metal and sliding underneath the panel, push it down on it until the panel comes free. As it falls away, you see that it was hiding a slug logo. Conclude examination.
What did you find?
Hate to say it, I don't think. Slug.
Slug runs the hotels. And the spaceport.
There are fuel traces on it.
You think it could be dissidents? Or
Some type of rival country? I don't know. Gonna go back to the ship, upgrade my guns, and then I'm gonna get on. Wow. Are you gonna do the achievement run?
My compliments to Sam. I do so love a clean cargo hold.
Very fair.
I am a dirty, autonomous digital astrogator, Sam. I
What?
haven't cleaned my internals in ages.
Yo, what the fuck is going on in there?
Can you hardly process the sheer quantity of dust built up in there? Tell me you've seen worse. We'll continue this later.
What the fuck?
Battery levels are... Error. This unit is unable to process the service request. Customer.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently. Alright. I'm calling it. I gotta get on. I'll see you later, dude. We'll see how late it gets. I close tomorrow, so I might stream. Maybe? I don't know. I'll figure something